That was great.
There, nice job.
Wow, it's so simple. It's like, I honestly thought this one I'm not gonna get. Wow.
If you've ever been told to punch your volley or to stick it, then this video is gonna be a real game changer for you. What's up, everybody? I'm Kirby Bridges. I'm a tennis coach here at EssentialTennis.com, where it's our mission to provide passionate instruction for passionate players just like you. Today, we're gonna be working with one of our recent ET VIP students, Gina, who came to us from LA. We are working on her volley, simplifying it and making sure that it's consistent and effective for when she needs it. Before we get into the video, I want to make sure you stick around to the end because it's there that I'll tell you exactly where you can get your volley action plan so that you can get our free coaching for the very next time you're on court. Until then, let's get right into the lesson.
Before we move forward, I kind of like a standard test that I like to run people through. Yeah. Kirby's going to mix up forehands and backhands. You're going to aim for no man's land. So anywhere between the service line and the baseline counts as a make, minus the alleys. Okay. And your goal is to get 10 in a row. Whatever it is, forehand, backhand, half volley, high volley, whatever. Your goal is to make 10 volleys in a row while Kirby hits back to you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Still 3, still 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. A little bit deep, almost. That was your best one. All right, grab a quick drink. So it sounds like you don't feel like you have very good control over where the ball's going in general.
I couldn't get to 10. Mm-hmm. You know?
It's a little bit of kind of foundation. Volleys at their core are control shots, they're placement shots. A lot of them are touch shots. Okay. Obviously, especially in doubles, a lot of times you have the opportunity to be aggressive. Yes. And you want to be aggressive with those and be firm and offensive, and you want to finish the point. Right. But generally speaking, your opponents are trying hard not to give you those opportunities. Yes. And so usually you have to earn them by placing the ball well a handful of times before you get that chance. Okay. And so if you don't have good precision with your volleys, then it's hard to be, it's difficult to get many of those opportunities because the point will just end before it comes because you don't have enough control to actually set up the point the way that you want to. Sure. So control is like vital. And this is kind of my baseline test for players to see how they're doing with their control. The singles court is 1,000 square feet. Okay. And no man's land is about half of it. So we've got about a 500 square foot target, and Kirby's not like, hand feeding you balls, but she's not trying to pass you either. It's pretty much hitting back to you. Yeah. So that's just always is an indicator to me that there's too much stuff going on technically. Okay. I'm just going to play through some in full speed first, okay, so you can see yourself. I'm guessing you probably haven't seen yourself volley before.
I have not.
So I'm just going to play through some. And your racket doesn't move around a lot, and so that's good. Like you've got some good habits there already. Okay. Occasionally there's like some excess, like twisting or turning of the racket, but generally speaking, you actually keep the racket pretty stable, okay, and pretty steady, which is like that's a good base to start from.
Good. Okay.
So, clean. It's simple in terms of your technique. But in terms of like your general framework of what you're doing with your racket, nothing super crazy. Now, what is different, and I'm not a world-class volleyer, but My volleys are probably the best part of my game. I feel pretty confident about them. The biggest difference between the way you hit your volleys and the way I hit my volleys is, in a way, my racket's actually moving more than yours, but in a very specific way. When you make contact with your volleys, most of the time there's an abrupt end to the movement. You make contact and there's a stop right at contact. And this is in line with a lot of popular opinion about the volley, that it should be a punched shot, or there should be a lot of firmness. You want to stick your volley or punch your volley, or you've probably heard phrases like that before.
Yeah.
And so when we look at so here, this first one would be a good example of just a lot of tension right at the moment of contact. So there's a hit and just a stop right there. And the racket's actually, you're a little off center. That's mainly why the racket is twisting and turning.
Oh, okay.
But there's also a concerted kind of squeeze right there at contact, which is causing your racket to come to a sudden stop.
Okay.
And so the result is we've got a ball that has just traveled 30, 40 feet to get to you. We have your racket that's traveling forwards a foot or two towards the ball. They collide with each other, and there's just this moment of like, pow, and the racket's just dead, like stopped right there. Now, that's not conducive to placement and precision and control. Let me show you a couple of my volleys now. And so I'm giving the ball direction. I'm actively telling the ball where to go as I hit it. It's kind of hard to see with that black curtain in the back.
No, I
but
can see
do you see
it,
the motion of how I'm directing the ball?
Yeah.
My favorite word to describe good volleys is the word guide. Guiding the ball towards where you want the ball to go. And so I'm not taking my racket back very far. I'm not swinging at the ball, but what's happening is my body is actively guiding the racket forwards as the ball gets to my racket, so that the ball is being told where we want it to go. As opposed to moving forward to the ball, stopping at contact, there's like a ricochet effect that happens when that kind of abruptness.
So your racket is not moving back, but between here and the ball there's movement, and then even afterwards there's
Yes. Yep. So we kind of have reverse techniques. I'm doing very, very little before the ball gets to me. I'm really just setting the racket up behind the ball. But I'm moving my racket out through contact.
You do, yeah.
Whereas on your volleys, you're moving the racket forward to the ball, and it's stopping at the point of contact. We're going to start off with Kirby tossing underhand to you. You're going to be arm's length away from the net.
Okay.
And we're going to start off just bumping the ball back to Kirby to start. So here I'll hit one or two. So you're just going to turn and let the ball bounce off, and we'll do both forehands and backhands. So goal is to just be as simple and precise as possible with the racket. So no movement yet, just setting it up cleanly. As she tosses to you, I'd love to see your initial movement be led by your core instead of by your hand and your arm. This is going to be really important later, but there should be just about a quarter turn with your body, and then from there, all you have to do is lay your hand back. Yeah, good. It's not a big turn. It's not like a full rotation like on a ground stroke. It's about halfway. Good. Keep it relaxed. If 10 is as hard as you can squeeze it, I want it to be a 1 right now. Like, just hold on to the racket. All right, let's go to the backhand side now, please. And I challenge you to make that initial turn and just leave the racket there. Don't hit it. Don't punch it. You don't even have to squeeze the racket. Awesome. Make it easy on yourself. All right, Gina, now we're gonna start working on what we looked at on the video.
A little bit of guidance.
Just a little bit. Can you stand to my left, please? Just over there would be great. So, do you remember, do you want to review the video, or do you remember kind of what
I
you...
remember it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the difference in our techniques was you moved your racket to the ball and then stopped at contact, whereas I waited for the ball and then moved out through the point of contact. So we're going to start working on that now. The target's not very far away, so this is not going to take much as far as the guiding principle, but we're going to start practicing it in kind of a small, controlled way. So when Kirby feeds my forehand, I'm going to make my initial turn to the side. My goal is going to be to leave the racket just about at the front edge of my body, and then when the ball gets to my racket, I'm going to guide out towards that basket by maybe 8 or 10 inches, maybe a foot at the most. A couple forehands, please. Come on, 4 in a row. All day. So I could do that all day. So minimal, like nothing as far as setup is concerned, and then a smooth, very calm guide out through the ball. And I want to be clear about the timing of this. Ideally, we want contact to be roughly in the middle of that movement, not at the end of the movement. Does that make sense? So as you make contact, the racket should be actively guiding out through the point of contact. Okay, better, Gina. You still really badly want to like go get it and be fully extended at contact. It's better.
Forward, yeah, yeah, and did move.
Yeah, I like that. That's a lot better. Yep, that's it. All right, let me show you where you're at right now. Without the ball, you're executing exactly what we're looking for. Smooth, open racket face, guiding out. Like this movement right here is exactly what we want to see. Out towards your target. When the ball gets put there, everything gets much more
Punchier.
much more abrupt and punchy.
Yeah.
So this is the sticking point here. Like you understand, like it makes sense to you. You're even able to execute it without the ball, but with the ball, there's this knee-jerk reaction to hit it, and we're trying to get you into something more smooth and calm. Okay. And it's a very nuanced difference between the two.
Yeah, I see it. So let me try.
Good.
Okay, let me try.
Your practice ones look really nice. Yeah, I want to have you try something, Gina. I'd like you to put your racket at 45 degrees on the net and move it about 3 feet down the net a couple of times. Yep, and just keep the racket at the same angle the whole way through. Yep, without moving your feet.
Oh, without moving your feet.
Yep, I'm just going to adjust your hand here a little bit. Yep, and then just slide it down. Yep. Just go back and forth a couple times. Now I'm going to put my hand in the way, and you are going to push through my hand without tensing as it happens, and just keep moving your racket at the same speed, the same amount of energy past my hand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So move it twice. Move it the same way. Good. Do it again. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 2 more times. And I want you to grip the racket at 3 out of 10, please. So, I said 3 out of 10. So on the loose end of the spectrum. And keep it at 3 out of 10. Did you firm up as you made contact? Because I'm feeling on my hand, I felt like initial give from your hand, which is good. Yeah. And then I felt it snap. I felt the racket snap through my fingers, which means that initially you were relaxed. And then as you felt that little bit of resistance, you were like, all right, I gotta get through. And that's what's happening as you make contact with your volleys. You're seeing the ball come towards contact, and you're like, ah, and you're bracing for impact. And so I'm just trying to get you to feel what it's like to go through resistance from something or impact without
Pushing forward.
Yeah, without fighting it. Okay. But same principle in that the ball and the racket should be allowed to hit each other without trying to control it or fight it or win it.
Win the contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should be just allowed to just bounce off. And you're very badly wanting to win that collision.
Yeah.
That's it, Gina.
It was good, but a little too tense.
Yeah. This is your last, I think, 3. This is 3 ago. That's the first one on tape where you totally did. You totally did it. Yeah. Your hand continued to move steadily, and the racket slowly rebounded because you were relaxed and calm.
Yeah, if you can do a cartwheel, like now's the time to do it.
I can't do it actually.
That was great. Simple, calm, steady, smooth. And this last one was the one that you commented was a little bit tighter.
Tighter, yeah.
Still a lot better than where we started. Still rebounded a little bit.
There, nice job.
Wow, it's so simple. It's like, I honestly thought this one I'm not gonna get.
It is, but it isn't.
Wow.
It's simple in theory, but applying it is very, like, I think nuanced is the best word. It's just a very nuanced thing.
Obviously.
The shots we saw earlier today were just full of tension that didn't need to be there. Right. The big picture, like, goal here or project is to get you to continue to develop this feel for how tense you are, what's winning the collision, the racket or the ball, and then being able to control that depending on what the result is that you want to hit. Yeah. So this is tricky. Like, this will take some time to develop, but we'll write you a plan to follow, and it's doable. Like, you've demonstrated you can do it, but it's going to take some time because you've hit however many thousands of volleys, all with a iron fist up until now, and so this is a very different feel.
Gina has come a long way from the start of the lesson to now, but we all know that this is only the beginning of her improvement. If she wants to go home and turn this into an unconscious habit that she doesn't even have to think about during her matches and practices, then she's gonna have to practice it the same way that we did in the lesson. Because of this, we sent her home with a detailed action plan, and I want to invite you to have the exact same opportunity right now. Just click the link in the description down below or head to volleyactionplan.com, and you too can have our coaching for free the very next time that you're on court. This plan will tell you exactly what to do, breaking up your next practice minute by minute so that you know what to do so that you can improve too. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and after you get the action plan, come back here, send us a comment, let us know how it's helping, and in the meantime, also make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a single lesson. We'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.